Hey guys, welcome back to the Noodle Network, the only channel on YouTube with 3 ways to play with your noodle. So, we're going to be unboxing the Nintendo Switch today. We're also going to be unboxing the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which I am also super looking forward to trying out. So, let's get going, shall we? Alright. So I just finished unboxing everything, guys, but first, before we go over anything involving the Nintendo Switch, I wanted to go over the game first that I got. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I just finished unwrapping it, and wow. It's, I mean, the cover art is pretty. I like it. It's not bad, but the back art, not a lot written down on there. Very minimal stuff. Let's see if it has anything inside. So that's kind of weird. I mean, the art on the inside is beautiful. I love that. Look at that picture right there. I don't know if you guys can quite see it, but look at that. Isn't that's really nice. Like, see Link climbing up the rock wall, which I believe you can do in game. But that aside, I am disappointed by the fact that there's no manual. I know that pretty much all PS4 games they don't come with manuals anymore, and that's a downside. It's disappointing. It's disappointing that there's no manual inside there to be talked about. But you know, at least the art is nice. The art is beautiful on it. And actually, here's the cartridge right here. I'm going to show you guys real close. Look at how tiny that thing is. Here, in comparison, here we go. This is a bottle cap from my drink, and this is the Nintendo Switch cartridge. Actually, it's probably just a tiny bit bigger in size than the bottle cap. That's how small this thing is. This is incredible. How they've packed in that much game into such a tiny little cartridge. I have no idea. Huh. Cool. You know, actually, I had heard this rumor that apparently the Nintendo decided to put some kind of I don't know, maybe it's a residue or something on a sticker, so that so that it wouldn't be a choking hazard anymore, so that children wouldn't, like, you know, pop them in their mouths like it's a damn chip or something like that. Well, I guess it is a computer chip, but you know what I mean. It's supposed to be like that, so guess we'll give it a try. Oh, Jesus. Oh my God. That is disgusting. Oh my, jeez. Oh, it's like they spread skunk filth all over it. It's terrible. I mean, I guess you wouldn't expect a Nintendo cartridge to taste good, but they put something awful on there to make sure we didn't lick it or anything like that. And I don't know why we'd be licking our cartridges. Let's take a look at the Nintendo console for now. Let's take a look at everything that they have here. So we're going to start off with the Nintendo Switch. Looks like the base for the controller pieces. So it looks like that slides in right there. And that slides in right here. Now keep in mind, I actually haven't read any of the news on the Nintendo Switch, so I know very little about it. Let's see here, huh? It's actually, I mean, comparatively, I'm used to playing on the PlayStation 4 controller. This is the Nintendo Switch controller. My hands do have to stretch a little bit to get around it, to hold it in a firm grip. But on the Nintendo Switch controller, it's less wide. And the thing about that is I'm used to going like this. So now you have to bring your thumbs inward a little bit. And it feels like, I don't know, it feels a little awkward. It feels like it should be a little bigger. But it looks like what they wanted to do was fill it in so it was a nice tightened gap right there. So I guess they should have made this part a little wider then, like about yay big, but it's not a big issue. It's not comfortable either. But they do have the Pro Controller out there for the Nintendo Switch. So if you're not really into the free thing that they give you, then you can just go with the Pro Controller and work that too. Personally, I don't know if I'd spend the money on getting another one unless I really needed it for multiplayer games, which I might actually have to do down the road. Because there are a few multiplayer games coming out that look cool. But this... I'm not liking where the analog sticks are. Especially, actually, now that I think about it, and one thing I noticed was when you're removing these things from the controller or from the actual Switch base there, you have to hold this button, this tiny black button right there, in all the way so that you can lift it out. Because if you don't, you're basically just going to be tearing on the lock and wearing it down, and you don't want to break your Switch because it costs a lot of money, $300 US plus tax. Well, looking at it, let's see here. So these look like they go over, and there we go. Okay, so it's less so a lefty and a righty controller and more universal is what they're trying to go for either a righty or a lefty. But I will say, yeah, it's kind of like I thought. These aren't exactly universal. If you look at it, if I'm holding it like this or like this, look at, I have to go like this to play it, and that's not gonna work. You literally have to be the you literally have to use the side of the controller that you want to use with that hand. So if you're a righty, you're gonna have to use the right one. If you're a lefty, you're gonna have to use the left one. And I'm not sure how I feel about that, because even with the Wiimotes, they were pretty much universal. You know, ambidextrous. You could use the left, you could use the right. Didn't really matter. With these, they're very much specified for a righty and a lefty. That aside, they're kind of comfortable. They feel like little remotes in your hand, and that's exactly what they are. I will say the one thing, though, is that the left controller is a little better than the right design, because for some weird reason, Nintendo decided to put the joystick right here at the bottom. So you have to reach downward for it, and that seems like a poor design idea, because at least on the left one they have it up top, so there's no problem with it. With this, it feels like I have to kind of like bend my thumb back and just kind of dislocate it to use the controller properly. And I think especially when you're in, like, I don't know, like if you're in like a melee based game, like, I don't know, Skyrim's coming out for it, Zelda actually. If you're gonna be doing this constantly, you're gonna be, it's a distraction, and it's not really thought through completely, and I think especially in a shooter, it's gonna make it really bad. Hopefully they don't have many shooters though, but for melee based combat, this is not gonna be good having to go back and forth like this. So, unfortunate downside from that. You've got your standard HDMI cable. Doesn't seem to be that long, but it's long enough for what you need to do with it. Especially considering this is also a handheld console as well as a full-fledged console too. You've also got your standard. Oh, I thought that was micro USB. It's not. But you've got a charger for the Switch itself right here. Looks like it plugs into the bottom. Careful with this, I don't want to break it. Yep, plugs right into the bottom. Looks like you can set it on a stand. Oh, but it also looks like, oh yeah, here we go. So the Switch also has one in the stand itself that you put in there, and I assume, yep, right there is where you put the Switch. That's nice. That's a neat little thing. Looks like it also comes out with the HDMI right there, the plug. USB right there too. I'm not sure what that's for. I'll have to look into that later. Let's see. So that closes up, and let's try putting the switch in it. Okay, yeah. So it fits in just like that. Looks like it has to go with the screen facing outward in that direction. Makes sense because this is supposed to be the front view angle. It's a nice little stand. Doesn't really securely hold it in too well, so if you kick it, it's not gonna go very well, shall we say. So make sure not to to move it around too much while it's in the stand. Now we're looking at the switch itself, the screen. So it looks like these are where the controllers go. Let's lock them into place. Ah, wow, that's a pleasant sound. Little locking sound in there. There we go. And I think that sound is the sound to make sure that it's if you haven't heard that sound and you put your thing in, that means it's not in all the way. So I think you need to fasten it a little more tightly. Looks like a giant PSP or PS Vita, to be honest. So that's a little silly. But the design is good. I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it, kind of thing. So it looks like we've got let's see here. Well, that's where the plug goes into. We got what's that? Oh, that's just part of the design right there. It looks like, or is that a stand? No, that's just part of the design. Looks like we got the two speakers in the back too. Looking over here, this is where the cartridge goes, and we got the headset too. The headset jack. Oh, and here's the volume button and the power button. So why don't we give this a try, shall we? I won't be able to show you this from the menu because I've been having trouble with it with the Elgato and hooking it up. So looks like what we got here. Pretty empty menu, honestly. I don't like that it's so empty. And maybe you can add your own background to it. That would be cool. Spice it up a little bit. Got the time on, the Wi-Fi. The battery power is low, but that's only because I just started charging it and then took it out immediately to give it a try. I already plugged in Zelda there, so let's try put it back in and give it a whirl, shall we? And something you weren't able to see when I put it in is it actually flashed the icon a little bit to make sure that it was in. So when you put the game in, it does this little thing where it asks you what user you want to use, which is nice. So it's kind of like a save file within a save file almost. That's awesome. That is nice. I just wanted to show you what it looks like from the view of the camera as a view from the Elgato itself, which I will be trying out. Look at that. That's pretty. Pretty nice. The graphics could be a little better, but honestly, for what it is, this is a good machine. It does have its faults, though, which we will talk about. Close the software, and then I think I can just turn it off by pressing the button. Yep, and it's off. So that was the Nintendo Switch, and honestly, it's an interesting piece of machinery. I quite enjoy it. It looks like fun. I actually can't wait to dive into it in a bit to give it a trial. But you know what? Now I'm gonna set up the Elgato and we're gonna try playing it that way. So we'll see you in a minute. All right, guys. So I figured it out how to get the Elgato working with this. Unfortunately, it's not letting me stream in a way that I can get it from here to the TV. So for some reason I have to stream it from my laptop. I'm not sure really why it's doing that. I've tried all the recommended instructions, but it's still not working. So I'm not sure what to really do about that. I will definitely look into it later and try to get it fixed up. But for now, I'm just going to have to play it off the computer. That was fast. Alright. Well, let's give it a try, shall we? So it seems like the update didn't change anything. I'm still able to stream from the Switch. New update is available. Oh, be downloaded now. Open my eyes. That's racist.
Open your eyes.
Did everyone in Hyrule become racist while I was gone? Jerks.
Wake up, Link.
Oh. Oh, oops. Sorry guys, I'm having trouble with the Elgato right now. And because of the delay, it makes controlling this even worse. I may not be able to stream this just based on the fact that it's very difficult to control with the 3-second gap. You wouldn't think it, but it does.
It will help guide you after your long slumber.
I'm not sure why they decided to make Zelda sound British. Is that more sophisticated? Maybe. Sheikah Slate, a mysterious tablet with a glowing center. You've never seen this device before, and yet there's something familiar about it. Is this supposed to be the Switch? Trying to figure out what all the controls do. Oh, holy crap! You can jump. Oh my god, you can jump in this. This is... I think this is only the second Legend of Zelda game where you can jump. But anyways. From what I've seen so far of this, the Nintendo Switch is interesting. I'm looking forward to delve more into it, to learn more about it. What I've seen so far, graphically, it's pretty nice. It's not, like, the most powerful machine out there. No, but visually, it's actually very pretty. No, it's not because he's naked. Get your heads out of the gutter. I'm really enjoying it so far. Like I said, I haven't been able to delve fully into it, so I can't speak fully to it one way or the other. But from what I've seen and taken out, it's good. It's not very nice to streamers. And to be honest, this being mobile, the Switch makes me extremely nervous, because if this drops, I could see it shattering into 1,000 pieces from just even 1 foot off the ground. Honestly, I would not recommend taking this anywhere you can't fully control. I would not recommend taking this outside, especially not outside in public right now, actually, now that I think about it, because obviously new piece of tech, there are going to be some bad people out there. I would not recommend that. Also, the fragility of this this console has me really worried. Nintendo needs to come out with something to protect it, shockproof it, because you know their previous one, the Nintendo Wii U, but the big handheld thing, that held a lot of bulk on it. If it dropped, unless it landed in the wrong way, whereas this is much smaller, more fragile, a lot more pieces built into it, sensors and stuff. And I do not think it would be smart to take this out and go mobile with it. I would not go mobile with it right now. If you're in your house, yeah, go for it. But I would not go mobile with it right now elsewhere. But that's just my opinion. You know, that's completely up to you what you guys want to do with it. But it's just my recommendation. As for Breath of the Wild, well, like I said, I was gonna stream it. I don't think I'll be able to do it now. I will keep working on it. I will keep getting into it. Graphically, it's impressive. Gameplay-wise, they added in jumping again, which is nice. But I really can't say much about it. I can't say much about anything right now. Oh my god, the lights turned off on it. Why did the lights turn off on it? Oh, because I wasn't moving. But anyways, guys, thank you for joining me on the Nintendo Switch unboxing. And I will see you guys next time. Take it easy, folks.